Now this is the Antonov An225, the biggest airplane in the world. Well, it was. Obviously, it was destroyed 2 years ago in February 2022. Very sadly, this is what the wreckage looks like. And well, the problem is this very airplane model, the An225, only existed once. The thing is though, this plane really did serve a purpose. While being extremely expensive, it was able to transport objects that once thought were impossible to move by air. 130-ton generators, wind turbine blades, and hold on, diesel locomotives. This is something the Antonov An225 was very much capable of. Now, luckily, Antonov is planning on rebuilding this aircraft, which probably would have been about time anyway. I mean, the An225 was built in 1985, and you see that we have, by today's standards, relatively small engines, 6 of them, which is an insane amount. We have a very old cockpit, which doesn't look very good at all here in the flight sim. I apologize. In the Microsoft Flight Simulator, it looks a lot better. Damn, this isn't great looking at all. Why is the chair glossy? I don't get that part either. And so the question now is, well, when they do plan on rebuilding this aircraft for a cost of $500 million, what kind of changes could they make to make this plane more, contemporary? Make the plane more fuel efficient, for example, but also better to fly. I mean, obviously the cockpit here needs an upgrade. I mean, the old glass instrument, geez, this does look really bad. Let's see if we can even take off here at Innsbruck Airport. It's not the longest runway, obviously. This plane does need a little bit of long runway, even, especially because we've fully loaded it up. This thing weighs 626 tons, which is close to its maximum takeoff weight. We have 200 tons of cargo loaded almost. So let's see if we can take off, which is even now impossible. Yeah, this thing needs loads of runway. Oh god, this is not gone well. All right, we're crashing into Innsbruck now. We need a change of runway, of course. But once again, the question is, could you reduce the amount of engines on this airplane? Maybe not 6, but 2? You know, this is a trend on modern airliners, at least. We've moved on from 4-engine airplanes to 2-engine. And that is thanks to the beautiful GE90 engine, of course, we can find on the Boeing 777. The most powerful engine that we've ever built. I mean, the 777 is quite a large airliner, and it's pretty incredible that it only has 2 engines. Trouble is, it can only deliver like around 100,000 pounds of thrust in the newer variants, which is not enough at all if you run it in a twin-engine configuration. I mean, the power plant on the An225 are the Progress D180, which you can find also on the smaller N124, delivers a whopping 50,000 pounds of thrust each. 6 times that, so it's 300,000 thrust. Obviously, the calculation doesn't add up. We are in a little bit of trouble. I mean, we now only have 2/3 of power, and it does look a little weird. Yeah, I don't think we could build a twin-engine Antonov. The GE90 is just not powerful enough. We would have to make them at least 1/3 bigger each. Let's see if we could somehow take the skies, though, with 2/3 of power. Let's do it. I mean, these engines use a whole lot less fuel, which, makes the range higher. Although, I genuinely am quite excited for what they will come up over the years for the new Antonov An225. Will they just rebuild it? I mean, the Antonov An225, to be fair, doesn't have to be very economical because why? It's made for special missions, and it doesn't fly around a lot. And in these special missions, the few thousands of pennies gained from better fuel efficiency don't really matter. Also, range doesn't really matter. This is not your holiday transporter. But the thing is, we're actually able to reach quite a lot of power here with those engines. Yeah, look at that. I mean, we used the whole runway here at the Area 51 airbase, which is kind of a weird spot to try this out. This runway is very long. We used the whole runway, and we can kind of climb, kind of. I mean, okay, let's be real. This is not a lot of weight we've put on this. Okay, let's maybe put on some more weight. This is a proper amount. Okay, we practically flew this plane without cargo. That kind of explains a lot. But look at this. Even as a twin engine, it is able to fly fly somewhat. Here's our vertical speed indicator. Look, we're able to climb at 1,000 feet per minute. We probably built the most underpowered airplane that's ever existed. I mean, we could put the landing gear up. That probably will improve some stuff. I actually expected this plane to perform a lot worse. I mean, look at how tiny these GE engines look now, especially compared to the 737 fuselage, which has practically the same diameter. Okay, let's see what the service ceiling could be. Yes, a somehow realistic Antonov. We now have this, semi-realistic weight configuration too. Okay, I'm speeding up time a little bit just to figure out how high can we climb this. The real Antonov can climb up to 36,000 feet. I wonder how this is going to perform. I mean, we probably could be flying around the world with the amount of fuel this thing can fit. You know, range-wise, this is crazy. So we've got loads of time. All right, now we are at 22,000 feet. We are unable to climb. Very unable to clear. We've made an absolutely huge. We are now stalling. We are now in trouble. I mean, once again, these engines do look comically small for the Antonov, but, you know, I have a brilliant idea that could actually work. I mean, look, we have a very special tail section here on this airplane, a tail section that leaves a lot of room for a third engine. How about a third engine on the Antonov An225? We probably have some space in the back here on the tail to put some there. Also, I mean, the airplane opens up front and not in the back, so this is technically possible. Everybody consider me a genius. We have, you know, half the engine count on the Antonov An225, which means a lot less fuel usage. That is perfect. So let's go ahead and take off. You know, we have pretty much the same amount of power that the Antonov An225 normally has. So I hope it performs a bit better. Right now we're running on like relatively low weight. Let's see right now how it's able to take off from Area 51. Maybe a bit better than before, right? Yes, look at that engine, which oh wow, that is poorly tilted. Doesn't really matter. Power comes out nicely, and we are gaining speed just like we know of the Antonov. This is absolutely fine. We can take off right here already. Look, now, please take off. Look, and this engine placement probably would work. Maybe the elevators here are a bit in the way, but look at that. We are able to take off without any trouble. You wouldn't even realize it. I have perfected the Antonov. And well, it's about time we do some performance testing. The good thing about cargo planes is that when they're empty, they can actually take off from very short distances and land there as well. Let's perform a landing at a Lamol. But let's bring the weight down. 300,000 kilograms. That is not a lot at all now. That's the maximum takeoff weight on the 777. Now, good thing is we have more engines than the 777. All right, come on, let's do it. The good thing about the GE90 is that it has very potent reverse thrust as well. No trouble. And look at the big spoiler surface on the Antonov An225. Stopping here shouldn't be a problem at all now. All right, we've got some call-outs in the language that I don't speak, as we can fly very slowly on this plane now. Okay, we might have not done that right. Sorry. Okay, doesn't matter. We have very sturdy landing gear. I think I applied reverse thrust actually, and well, all right, there we go. Let's stop now. Yes, I'm sorry. I might have applied reverse thrust a bit too early, but look at that. The very potent landing gear brakes, as well as for some reason we have no reverse thrust animation, but look at this. We have done it. This plane I've turned into a super plane. And for sure on an empty weight like this, we should be able to take off from here without any problem. You know what? I have so much trust in this thrust that I think we should be able to take off from this runway and not crash into the mountain. You know, come on. I'm putting a lot of trust in you now. So there it is. That's what she said. Full power into this plane and release brakes now. Perfect. Look at all the power. Unleashing 3 GE90 engines. Come on, come on. Let's go put the flaps out fully now. We are already at 100 knots. 120, 130. There we go. That's what I like to see. And take off from Lamol. No problem at all. Look at that. I have fixed the Antonov An225. We can do a vertical takeoff now. Yes, once again, equal power. And look, in case St. Boss ever needed a wind turbine delivered, we have just created the plane for it. The Antonov An225.5. Solving the world's problems here on the channel. That's what I like to see. Let's take off here. No trouble at all. Look at these engines, which are, by the way, now a lot quieter, a lot more moderner, a lot less thirsty, a lot better. We might have crashed our wing there into a mountain, but I can't tell because the frames per second is so bad. Come on, let's take off now. No trouble at all. All right, please turn into Jesus. Yeah. Oh, wow, the flight simulator kind of messed up there. I'm sorry about that. But look at that realism. We've been able to take off from a 600-meter long runway. Okay, without a wind turbine, that would be a little bit of a useless flight, to be honest. But this is great. We have solved the Antonov An225 problem. No, generally, I'm very much excited to see what they'll get in the future. The return of the Antonov An225. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow as always. Good night.
And a special thanks goes out to my members, my supporters, Guns Killer, R27, James Duram, That Dude, Anime Gods of Gaming, Derek, Insider Plane, Nishijutsu Finer, Professional Jamal, Ryland Williams, and New York. You've got beautiful names.